This is spEarz to the streets. spEarz to the streets. spEarz to the streets. spEarz to the streets. This is spEarz to the streets. spEarz to the streets. This is spEarz to the streets. Get down to the beat, or get beat down in the street.
First mistake of SummerSlam weekend was regaling the U.S. Championship match to the going away show. Second mistake was the booking for the Stratton vs. Cargill match for the Undisputed Championship. Two faces going at it for the title. Just like the build-up for this bout, everything about it looked uncommitted and rushed. Both women got off some solid spots. At the start, Stratton was early with the roll-up attempts and got shut down with a big boot in exchange for having her hand out for a shake, and a late show of respect for the Queen of the Ring. Cargill's chokeslam set up later on in the match cried Undertaker. Stratton had rolling fireman's carries. Jade hit that jaded and avoided the prettiest moonsault with both her legs extended, rare in a world where double knees have become a popularized counter in ring. But the only woman really selling any of the bumps that night was Stratton. Cargill couldn't hold a candle with her no sells even when ultimately taking the pin. Jade had everything going for her entering SummerSlam. The Jamaican flag green gear, a bold political statement at a time when the African diaspora is being subverted from the inside, the QRTR title. All of these symbols meant nothing when Stratton showed up blonde and babyface blue, running around the ring at a pace that Cargill had a hard time keeping up with, to the point that Cargill had to noticeably walk into Stratton's many high-flying spots. So when Stratton got her leg on the bottom rope to break up that jaded, it just became more and more clear that the Minnesota native was booked to boast more ring IQ than Jade from the jump at this year's SummerSlam. If this loss leads to another extended leave for Jade, I won't be surprised. The woman does have a family to support, but albeit that fact, she did choose the life of a pro wrestler. I dislike that this title bout wasn't given even 10 minutes, and Jade was booked to look like a lummox, possibly just to take another break from the ring, where upon her return, she still won't be as advanced as the rest of the locker room, which is quickly evolving without her. Stratton should have had a heel opponent for SummerSlam. From Stratus to Cargill, back-to-back faces is ridiculous booking. Cargill could have left after Evolution, then suffered this defeat. Where's Nia Jax when you need her? Oh wait, instead of putting over a main card champion, she's reliving her glory days over on NXT. Also, where was the prime placement on the card for the Undisputed title? The middle of the card placement translates to what this match was intended to be. Mid, when every championship match deserves to be treated like a main event. Really? Self and Gunther on the poster? Now would have been the perfect time to have the ladies' main event a 2025 Big 5 PLE. Hell, with the length of the time the contest was, it isn't like WWE would have ran into any airing issues like with SNME 40. And on the next night, WWE somewhat learned their lesson with the slots when the World Championship was contested. Naomi's father, who's a successful blues guitarist, no surprises there if you know about nepotism, did her intro. And honestly, that would have looked way better closing out night one instead of Gunther and Rollins, moving Stratton and Cargill's sprint to open night two. But I digress. Ripley and Sky were present to run back their closer for Evolution, and Naomi was a heel of legend. He started off rolling out of the ring, cowardly. Then somewhere in between, while Sky and Ripley were lulling me to sleep with the same old shit, Naomi comes in biting Ripley's fingers and ragdolling Sky by the ponytail. It's like Naomi never left that no-holds-barred match back at Evolution, and I am so glad she stayed there. While Ripley was getting that Facebooking, fecklessly one-arm throwing Naomi and pulling off a riptide mid-match on the champ that I thought would call the match, while Sky was living up to her namesake and doing crazy suicide dives outside the ring and taking heavy bumps while setting up moonsaults, eating the ring post under the chin in one crucial spot, Naomi was pure grit, eating Sky's uppercuts that looked like Street Fighter dragon punches and returning the favor with vicious blows of her own to push Sky out of the ring. Naomi truly brought the best out these women, just like at Evolution, controlling the match, whether she was inside the ring or not. One stiff kick from Ripley through the ropes on Sky's chin at the final moments of this world title contest was so brutal. I just don't believe Ripley would have pulled that out of her if Naomi wasn't there. Note, Ripley had the crowd in the palm of her hand. Looks of deject on the faces of the WWE Universe when Sky broke up one pin attempt when it looked like Naomi was about to turn in her gold. Sky was also exceptionally over. When she landed those high-flying body slams, the crowd was doing that stupidly narcissistic, look at me taunt. I don't know why that's gotten over so well with the WWE Universe. Maybe it's because we're all a bunch of annoying narcissistics. Existentialist postulation aside, Ripley noticeably had on a pair of black panties all night. How do I notice? Early on in the match, Ripley started busting out her tights, providing much-needed fan service to the dirty Jersey crowd. Who can blame Naomi for exploiting this wardrobe malfunction to retain the world title? I know I can't. And the look on Ripley's face with the crybaby mannerisms to end the segment were priceless. Starting off weak, but ending on a high note. Summerslam 38 was in need of some real feuds for the women's division, not reheated beef from Evolution. Sadly, Ripley and Sky will not be taking time off like Cargill is projected to, so that means their feud will most likely continue. As long as it is kept as far away from the world title picture for as long as possible, I can live with that.
This is Spears to the Streets. Spears to the Streets. Spears to the Streets. Spears. This is Spears to the Streets. Spears to the Streets. This is to the streets, to the streets, spears to the spears, spears to the streets, spears to the. This is Spears to the Streets. Get down to the beat, or get beat down in the street.